welcome. Welcome, Chow. Welcome, Jim. Hope everybody's doing well. It's Thursday night, and I'm back, and I made this card yesterday, and I decided I'll show you how I made it. So it lights up. Yes, it does. And it's got twinkle lights. So you guys are going to be sad, but I'm going to be tearing this card apart. And the reason why is I recycle my twinkle lights. I don't send out my light up cards. And I can't keep them all. And twinkle lights, I mean, they have a cost to them. And so instead of adding new ones and just having them laying around, I recycle them. So I make my card, I take my pictures, I do my video, whatever I need to do, and then I dismantle the whole doggone thing. So don't be sad about that. So that's what I'm going to start with here. I'm going to give a couple minutes for people to hop in. Hey, Teresa. Then I'll show you how I made this. So I don't know if you can see the sparkle in the camera. I'm sure you can. And then the lights. Dun dun dun. We're going to do another one, only we're going to do it with the snowflakes. Thank you. Hi, Norma. Hi, Tina. Hey, Elizabeth. Oh, I wanted to show you that medical paper. Oh, where did I put it? Hang on, here it is. So I think the whole roll was like total of $10 with shipping. And it's kind of hard for me to show you the thickness of the roll, but there's a lot there. And I played with it a bit yesterday because I've been kind of not feeling like playing lately. I'm not sick or anything, I've just been cooking. But check this out. It really takes ink well, and it's pretty sturdy. So I was just testing it yesterday. This I'll use, for a junk journal. Hey, Linda. Hey, good morning, Di. Yeah, but it's also soft. And I thought it would be really fabulous. And I got this idea from Eddie, by the way. And if you don't know who Eddie is, yeah, he's a person that does a lot of stuff with PM stamping or PM. Never mind. I know who he is. Anyways, he had bought some of this stuff, and it really works great for lifting, on a gel print, lifting ink off or paint off. So I bought some. Yeah. Hey, Anya. So, if you're just coming in, I was just saying that I recycle my twinkle lights because I want to make another light up card tonight. So I'm going to be taking this one apart because I'm not going to be sending it to anyone. PM Artist Studio, thank you very kindly. And I don't know Eddie's last name. Eddie. I know his name is Eddie. So, I usually start with trying to carefully get it off the tape because this is the world's best foam tape, and any pieces I can recycle of that, I want to. So I'm just going to, as carefully as I can, peel this paper off. And because it's watercolor paper, it does peel. So depending on the paper is how it comes off. So it doesn't look like I'm going to be able to rescue much of that, but that's okay. And the reason I want to really kind of hoard this is that I saw Amanda saying that they were having trouble getting it at Pear Blossom Press. I know it, Pam. It's supposed to revolve around you. I know this. So all I'm doing is breaking things right now. And so I'm going to carefully take my lights off of here so that I can reuse them. I have plenty of non-twinkle lights, but this is the only set of twinkle lights I have. And I feel like these cards need to twinkle. So this is just packing tape that I put on here because I couldn't find my Scotch tape. Sent Mike to the store to get me some. He forgot. Then I finally found mine. So I'm just being careful. I don't want to rip any of these little wires or, you know, bend them wrong. Light up cards are super easy and they're fun. Let's see here. Come on off of here. Then we'll get started on a fresh light up card. Careful of your lights. I have broken these before. More often though, I break the Tim Holtz ones. You know, the ones that are on a string, and they're not like this. They're all like attached to each other. I've broken those before. And this is just me trying to be careful. Hey, Christy. You know, I think so too, because I was thinking, you know, like for Christmas, it'd be fun to have twinkle lights that set up multiple lights, and I've done it before. I've probably got reels on Instagram where I've purchased some monofilament, this stuff. Let me show you. This stuff. And what's cool about it is if you take and we'll cut a little piece off here, you can, and I use my resin, I resined it to the little lights. All right, let's get this out of my hair right now. And I don't want it to break, so I want to put it somewhere where I won't screw it up. Because if you break them, well, they do cool stuff if you break them too, but let's see if I can get it to do it by just holding it. The light will actually, if you get it on there just right, come out the end of the monofilament line. And you can attach 3 or 4 of them to the monofilament. Can you see it? Anyway, I digress. Let's get to the business of making this card. Okay, lurking is fine. Eating an apple is great. We're going to start out with our background. And I have here some Simon Hurley watercolor paper. And I have here my smack plate. So, and I'm going to start with, I'm using Loch Ness, 100% juice, and Midnight Snack. I'm going to start with the Loch Ness. It's kind of the underlying color. I'm just going to press it down on here. You could do this your way, do you know. Where's my water? Shoot, I didn't fill up my water. Hang on. Let's see if I have some water in here. I do. I wanted to get done in time because some friends of mine have moved their Wednesday night to Thursday night at 6 o'clock my time. And so, God, it feels like 6 o'clock, doesn't it? Yeah, exactly. So just like those trees that we had in our home in the 70s. Actually, they still make them because I have one. I have a black Halloween one. I just didn't take it out this year. So I'm just going to spread this around, and yep, I'm going to get it on my fingers. Big surprise. I'm going to wet my paper down, and I'm going to use the rough side because I'm not going to be stamping on it. I'm not worried about how my stamps will or will not lie on there. The main thing is this is a lot of dry time because you want it to be perfectly dry. So luckily this tool, oh shoot, okay. You guys, hold on, I gotta move these monofilament lines. This thing is really long and it's right in my way. Let's just move it to here. If you break them or bend them or get a crick in them, then just light will emit from the little cricks. Hi, Lori. No, definitely. Well, I don't know. It depends on the person. If I had my choice between an apple and chocolate, 9 times out of 10, I'd probably pick the apple. So I'm just dipping right back in to my wet stuff that's here already. And the main thing I wanted to share here is you don't have to have Tim Holtz inks to do this. You can do this with Simon's inks too. He just won't make any more browns. I don't want to talk about it. Hi, Judy. He sent me to Uncle Tim to get brown. Okay, that's dry enough. And I'm going to wipe this off because I want to come in with my 100% juice. This is probably my new favorite. Just love this shade of purple. I'm not a super purple girl, but I do like purple. And I'm going to get this moving around just a little bit. I want to keep it nice and dark though. Well, I understand, Ranger wants him to keep his line happy and sunny. If we want grunge, we got to go to Tim. But I'm telling you, don't have to have Tim to make grunge. You can even just make your own stinking browns with re-inkers and the little blank ink pads. So it's not a go no go situation. Isn't that a good combination? Yeah, I think so too. Okay, wipe off and let's come in with our midnight snack. Now I'm starting to sound like Elizabeth. My midnight snack. This is not yours. It's not Elizabeth's. It's mine. I love batik. Tina, so I used to be a quilter, and that was the only fabric that I loved quilting, making quilt tops out of, not quilting. Um, I mean, I quilted things, but not very good. Um, but making quilt tops with batik, oh, love it. This is, there's several layers to this, friends. So, as you can see, the part I tore apart, where I lost it now. Anyway, here's another piece that I made. It's quite dark in comparison. So we are going to go darker. I am going to go darker. Oh, yeah, good idea. Yeah, the Astro Pace is definitely yours, Elizabeth. But that batik fabric is so expensive. Even back then, in the, 2010s. Oh my gosh, that sounds creepy. Um, it was expensive compared to other, well, I mean, it was probably comparable to like a good Kona cotton or something. So, next up. Um, oh my gosh, you guys, I just before I came on here was reading about a horrible thing that might happen in Florida. Imagine the dread. Iguanas are going to fall out of trees. So, you see what I'm doing here? I know that looks scary, right? It will be. It will leave those marks, and I don't mind. Just going to wet this up and kind of move it around a little. Because remember, I need this to be kind of dark. Because it's a night sky. like total night. Okay, give that a dry. So I would not want to be in Florida during this cold snap that's coming up. Nope, nope, nope. That's a huge double nope. You definitely want to use watercolor paper for a situation like this. Just because, well, you're getting it wet a whole lot. But you're not moving it around, so it's not going to fill up necessarily. Okay, we'll come back in with our 100% juice. My 100% juice. Oh, golly. I'm just going to overlap those. Wet it down. Move it around. It's real super wet now, friends. Way wet. they they flew the bolts over sitting in first class. You talking about the bolts of fabric? So just keep, Floridians in your prayers or your thoughts or your positive vibes. Because if it was me, I mean, that would be like as bad as being invaded by stink bugs. This is still extremely wet, as you can see. Kind of dry this off. It's not easy to make anyway, so, it makes sense that it would be expensive. It's a big process. And I know the difference between real batik and fake batik. Real batik, you can't tell which is the inside and which is the outside. Fake batik, it's definitely printed, and you can tell. I don't know how big iguanas actually get, but I don't know. I think falling down would freak me out. Okay, we're coming in with the midnight snack now, and then we'll move on to the next step. And this, I need to re-ink this already because I kind of went crazy with it. And midnight snack is kind of more of a purpley blue. So now I've got it pretty nice and dark. Yeah, that's true, Laura. You'd be pretty safe. Although if you had a stunned one and it got confused and crawled up your pant leg or something, I don't know. Listen, I know people keep those things as pets, but to me, no. That's a negatory. No reptile pets, please. And the reason I want this nice and dry is because I'm going to be sanding on it. And, if you sand on it when it's wet, it's like cottage cheese. It feels pretty crispy. Next step. Now, this might seem weird to you, but what I'm going to do is I've got my little mini brayer. This is part of the 2-pack you can get from Ranger. And I've got my Elizabeth Unicorn Horn Astro Paste. And I'm going to just put a little bit down right here on my little mat. Don't need a bunch. I'm going to grab my brayer, load it up, and then I'm just going to brayer this stuff on. And this is going to give me a super light coat that dries really, really fast. See, I even got out more than I needed. And just like that. Hey, Alyssa, I'm going to put this back that I didn't use because there's still some left on here. And this is why I use this little silicone mat thing. Well, I got a little bit of blue in there. It's no biggie. No big deal. Thank you. Thank you so much. So I'm going to hit that with the heat tool again, and then we'll move on to the next. And this will be dry in no time. Because again, it's just nice and flat. You know, when you put it on like that, it really is a nice thin coat. Okay, so that part is done. Now, what I want to do here is, I know that I'm going to be using this stamp right here. So I'm going to grab the die, the coordinating die. And I have to decide where my cutout's going to be. How I want the orientation of my card, where my sentiment's going to be, where my push is going to be. I think I want to do just Merry Christmas. So I think what I'll do is I'll do these kind of off over here. And I also want to leave room for my tape. So I think right about here is going to work just fine. And I'm going to walk over to my Vagabond and cut this out. It's not going to want to stick very good, but I'm just going to kind of hold it here while I get over there. Okay. Okay. I'm going to poke this out. Okay. I'm going to save that for later. Believe it or not, when you've done all this, you can heat emboss right over it. It comes out really nice. I'm going to be using Simon's Sparkling Snow embossing folder, and I'm going to take this back over to my Vagabond and I'm going to emboss it. So I like to do my cutout before my embossing so I don't lose, you know, let me decide where the best snowflakes are. So I don't lose my, you know, dimension on there. Nice. Okay. Now it's kind of hard to see the embossing. Ow, 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 ow. Sorry about that. My knee decided to say, nope, we're not moving that way. I'm going to grab this little tool. Actually, before I do that, I want to darken around these edges. And I'm going to do it with the 100% juice. And my little sidekick, Bunny Buddy sidekick. Sip of coffee. Well, you know, I mean, when stink bugs attack you, you just naturally freak out. I'm just going to come in this little tool and just darken these edges. So there's no white showing through. Guys, I got a busy weekend. I'm live on Lynn's channel tomorrow. I've got a live Sunday for Kendra's card challenges. And Monday, it's going to be like 20 degrees at night. I'm so excited. Yeah, and before you jump on the wagon and call me weird, it doesn't get that cold here, and I wish it did. I'm going to go move in with Dawn up in Maine, where she gets snow and cold all the time. Okay, that takes care of that. Now, where? Right here. This is a sanding disc, and I'm going to sand my snowflakes. And because this is watercolor paper, it's going to kind of make them furry. So I'm just going over lightly. And that's just going to bring them out. You can see them. But I'm not looking for them to be perfect. I'm just looking for kind of chill, mellow snowflakes. What's going to escape? G word. What? Wait, what? I know. Tell me. Keep up. Follow along. Oh, did you saw the glitter? I'm sorry. Yeah, I'm not worried about it. I saw it too, and I went, oops, I got glitter on there. I get glitter on everything. Yes, I'm saying glitter. Glitter, 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 glitter. Go eat your apple. So you can see that that brought out all those little snowflakes that were embossed in there. I think that's good enough. And I don't need this anymore, so I'm going to move it aside, and everything's puffing up everywhere. Sparkly juice. All right, now, next step is to create the image. So this is some Pear Blossom Press Vellum, and I'm using this purpley color. And I am definitely going to use my stamp platform. And the direction I want to go is this way with my stamp. And I'm going to be using my tried and true Swear by Alabaster embossing powder from Brutus Monroe. Of all the ones I've tried, it's the best in terms of embossing on colored paper. Oh, here it is. Okay. So when I hit this with my anti-static powder tool, and I'm not going super heavy with it. I had pretty good luck with it yesterday, so I'm feeling good. Feeling good. Just making sure I'm saturating those snowflakes very well. Okay, yeah, then you have made progress. Excellent. One more for good measure. Leave that sit while I put my lid on. Try and put it away. And I need a piece of papele. Come off of there, you. Try and get this off without destroying it. So you can get the dark vellum. You can get it from Pear Blossom Press. You can get it from 12 by 12 cardstock shop. A lot of people have it. The Trinity Stamps has some beautiful iridescent vellum. There's no dark colors, and I needed a dark color. I'm not too worried about a little bit of excess on there because the only part you're going to see is the stamped part. And this is exactly why I like this bottle, because it's big and I don't spill too much on my mat. Okay. Put that away. When I get it on my mat, though, I hate it because you can't just wipe it off, but you got to wash it off. Okay, you want to make sure the heat tool is nice and hot. And you're just going to on and off, on and off, on and off. As soon as you see it turn, move away and lift your heat gun away from it. So it warped a little bit, but it doesn't matter. Just want to make sure that everything's all nice and embossed. And then I'm just going to fit this on here like so. And flip it over. I'm going to use some glue. And so let's use this is my, what's that expensive stuff called that you can't ship in the winter? Art glitter glue. And I just like this because it takes hold faster. But I'm not going to go too crazy with it. But I want to make sure I get in all these little areas. And then I'll trim off any excess once I know it's good and glued down. And then we just have to install the lights and put it down on the card base. Add the sentiment and the word push. I'm going to flip it back over and lay it down right on that vellum. And then I'll put something heavy on it for a minute. Flatten it down. Drink more coffee. Let's, my glue's throwing up. Hang on. You'll be okay. Just kind of spread that glue out a little, out away from your innards. Lights are going to be easy to install on this because you can plainly see the middle. And then I'll just take my little scissors and trim off the excess. Very simple, very easy. Provided everything wants to cooperate with you. Come on. There you go. And it doesn't have to be perfect because no one's going to see it. There we go. So now you've got a situation, and I'm going to go ahead and edge this while I have it not on anything. I'm going to go with the Stellar again in the 100% juice. Where did my brush go? Here it is. Gosh, the chat got quiet. Are you guys mesmerized, or did you all just say, yeah, boring, I'm gone? Or it's just broken and I can't see it anymore. Okay. All right, next up, light installation. So I want my card to go this way. I think I'm going to do my press up here. So that's where I want to start. And I'll just get a little sticky ball. Oh, hopefully I'm still live. I'm just going to lay my sticky ball down, and then I'm going to lay this down, just making sure that I've got room for my tape on either side. It may not, if I may have to trim it some. That's okay. I'm going to grab some Scotch tape, not this. I know I have some clear. Here it is. I want to use clear tape. And I'm going to install these lights in the middle of each of these snowflakes. I want to make sure that the light is facing down. And I'll just lay a piece of clear tape over it. And I always like to test as I go. Okay, that's close enough to the middle. It doesn't have to be absolutely 100% perfect. And I think I'm going to have to rethink how I have this on here. I think I'm going to have it go this way. Just making sure that it's not blocking any snow. And it wants to turn on me because it's just that sticky stuff. A little tape here so it doesn't do that. If anybody's trying to message me, my phone's in the other room. Is there anybody out there? Okay, I'm going to get my phone. I'll be right back. Because I feel like something's wrong. The last thing I see is a couple of hearts from Elizabeth. Okay. YouTube. You. Nope, just nobody's talking. Okay. Or it's broken. Let me see. Test. Nope. Everybody went away. Well, I see how you are. Okay. See how easy those are to install? I'm not super happy with the placement on that one, but I think I'm just going to leave it alone. Quiet chat, okay. Yeah, well, that's fine. As long as it's working. I'd hate to be sitting here doing all this and somebody saying, hey, what's she doing? She's gone. Now I'm going to try and kind of hide these wires best I can. Just have to decide where I want to try and hide them. I think we're going to go here. They don't show up that much because it's dark paper, but and I'm just taping them down. You just don't want to kink them too much. There we go. Test again. Everybody's working. Oh, I know. Trust me, I fall asleep early every night. And it's so annoying because I don't want to. And then I wake up, like at 10 o'clock. Everybody's gone. There's nothing going on. And I'm left with Little House on the Prairie. So I'm going to use my World's Best Foam Tape just because it works the best. And when I'm out, I'm out. There's that. And just tape it down right over top of my other tape and stuff. Whew. Got hot in here. Yeah, because our bodies tell us it's time to go to bed when it's dark or whatever. Watch TV, be done with social media and stuff like that. That's the way it is for me. Unless I'm got myself stuck on Instagram watching, 9,000 different people making sourdough so I can learn how to do it. It's funny what Instagram will feed you, though. Based on where you stop. Like sometimes I stop and, put my phone down and go use the restroom or whatever. And if I stop someplace that it thinks I want to, hang out at, next thing you know, like this morning, I was watching this Hispanic lady and it was in Spanish, but she was doing a really cool card thing. And so I watched it even though it was in Spanish. And the next thing you know, Instagram's just feeding me all these Spanish speaking reels. And I'm like, okay, but I don't speak Spanish really. So I kind of wish that wouldn't happen. What I'm doing here is I'm being careful not to cover any of my snowflakes here with my tape, but still making sure that I've got plenty of support on the card. I think that'll do. Now I get to decide what orientation I want this before I put it down on a card base. Where is my stamp? Thanks, Jim. Okay, here's Merry Christmas. And if I did, where's my light? Where's my light? Up here. I did Merry Christmas. I could do it right across those. I don't really like to cover them though, except maybe a tiny bit. I think I want to go here with it. I lost my button again. Where's my button? Way over here. Okay, what's going on? Okay, so it's right about on this snowflake. All right. Okay, that's going to be my orientation. And I'm going to do that on a, oh, let's see. Got this navy card base, but it's short for some reason. I don't know why. I cut that. Obviously, I cut it wrong. Okay, here's one. It's a top folding. Okay, and let me show you why I'm putting it on navy. So you could put it on any color you wanted, but it's going to make a difference when the card lights up. So here it is on navy. So it stays nice and dark in the middle. And here it is on white, where it's much lighter. Huh, maybe I do want it on white. I kind of like it lighter since it's snow falling. And so what I'm going to do here is I can see that my card base is going to be a little bit long for it. So I'm going to trim it off first. Oh, golly gee, that is a side folder. Pay attention, T. Okay. Thank you, Norma. Yeah, that's not bad for $7. I think I'm going to have a turkey sandwich. I'm in a sandwich mood. I'm actually in a tuna sandwich mood, but I don't feel like making tuna. So there's that. I'm going to peel off the backer, and the beauty of this tape is you can peel it back up. It won't completely take hold for 24 hours. But again, they're having a hard time with their supplier, which is a bummer. Because I haven't seen foam tape like this anywhere else. Now I'm going to stand up as I do this, just because it helps me aim better. Okay, cool. So my press is going to go right there. And what I'm going to do is, so I don't have to keep fumbling looking for it, I'm just going to make just a little dot because I'm going to cut one out. So all we have left is the sentiment and the press. And you could add gems and stuff to it if you wanted to as well. And it hangs over a little bit, but so what? Yeah, the white was better, I think, for this one. The other one, I had done it in a dark color. Okay. What am I doing? Oh yeah, my sentiment. So I was going to do Merry Christmas. Now I have to decide. On a cardstock to do that on, and I have this gorgeous plum colored cardstock that I think would be great. So we're going to use that. Stamp platform. Here you are. Golly, I got that done in an almost less than an hour. Well, I mean, close. So we're going to do Merry Christmas, and then I need my little, and I have everything linked in the description box below. Those are affiliate links. So there's that. These are called Paper Crafting Magic from Trinity. And I'm just going to grab push. Lots of different companies make these. I'll put it up here. I just want to leave room to, cut that out because I have the coordinating die. And go ahead and get my anti-static powder tool. And grab my Brutus Monroe embossing powder. Grab my piece of paper. And my embossing pad. Looks pretty good, but I'm just going to do another light push. And I just lay it down and then I put my embossing pad away. It gives it a second to soak in. I got a Pink Floyd song stuck in my head, friends. I hate when that happens. Oh, this paper doesn't do well. Let me grab a little brush. I don't mind if it's a little messy, but I don't like it a lot messy. This is kind of a thick paper, and I think it's Simon Says Stamps paper. I'm not sure. Oops, I knocked off part of my P. Get back there, P. Okay, that's gonna have to do because I'm just making a bigger mess. And yep, I could have done my could have done black, but I really didn't want to put any black on this card. Okay, now heat tool. Thanks, Linda. Thank you, Pam. Okay, let's get the coordinating die for the Merry Christmas. I believe it's this one right here. Yep. Move some stuffs out of my way. Grab my piece of tape. Okay. looks good. All right. I have to clean all this up tonight before I do my live tomorrow morning. So, so I'm gonna do probably that, and then I'm just gonna hand cut the push. Doesn't need to be big. Just so somebody knows that it's a light up card. And glue that down. Look, I'm gonna get you guys out of here on time for Men of Monroe. Or if you are or over to Di's channel for her live. Okay, let's pop this up. So real time, that took me an hour. But let's say you didn't do all this ink blending and sanding and stuff like that, and you just did it on plain paper or pattern paper for that matter. Could go a lot quicker as long as you don't feel intimidated by installing lights. And they're super easy, you saw. Took me a couple minutes. Let me put that straight on there, and then I have a actually easier time getting these on here straight if I'm looking in my camera monitor than if I'm looking straight at it. So there we go. All right, why is it not working? There we go. Got our little twinkle light Merry Christmas with the snowflakes from Simon Hurley. That'd be really pretty with some little sparkle spots on here too. But I'm going to leave it at that and call it a night. Thank you everybody for coming and hanging out with me. I hope that you'll consider leaving me a thumbs up, leave comments, you know, all the things. You can look for me tomorrow on Lynn's channel, and I'll be back Sunday. I'll be back tomorrow morning for my live. Oh no, Saturday on Lynn's channel, and then Sunday back live on my channel for our monthly hop. But thank you for spending your time with me, and I hope that you have an awesome weekend if I don't see you around the rooms. Twinkle, twinkle. Eventually these lights twinkle on their own like you see now. When you first turn them on, they all blink at the same time, but now they'll twinkle. I love light up cards, so I hope you guys like it too. Take care, everybody. Bye.